Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk Tuesday, where we tackle some of the real estate questions you've thrown my way over the week. Now, this is the first Tuesday of the month, and on the first Tuesday of every month, the topic is always going to be the same, and that is a live market update. So, real estate, as many of you know, is a shifting market, and always is. New Hampshire is no exception, and so I figure the start of the new month is a good time to update you all on what the market has been doing, so you can stay informed. So, home prices, mortgage rates, average days on the market, the amount of homes sold, etc. And then the rest of the Tuesdays of the month will cover all of the burning questions that I receive from you during that time. All right, so let's get into it, and let's start with our buyers. So if you have tried to buy a home in the past, year or so, a couple of years, then you have probably had a tough time. I'm not going to lie. And there is some good news for you, though, coming in 2026. We're finally seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here as the market starts to balance itself out. We're seeing houses go up for sale and not getting 3 offers above asking within 24 hours, right? Those days are finally behind us. And the longer those homes sit on the market, the more options you have as a buyer. So prices are still up about 2% from where they were last year, but we are seeing a lot more price reductions after a home is put on the market. And what that tells us is that these houses aren't selling quite the way that the optimistic sellers want them to. So the kind of bulleted list that of trends that you guys need to know about as a prospective buyer is this. We've got our active listings, which have gone up from the point where they are at last year, so more inventory. And at the same time, the time on market of these houses has also increased. The mortgage rates currently are still high compared to 2020 and 21, but overall they've decreased and now they're hovering around 6% or so. The home prices themselves are still high, but it feels like we are at a bit of a standstill and price reduction rate is starting to go up. So more houses are listing and then dropping their prices later in the listing. So first-time home buyers are certainly still struggling, and in fact, a new report by the National Association of Realtors tells us that the average age of first-time home buyers is actually now 40, which is crazy. And that being said, there are still options for you if you are not 40 years old. And I'll be doing another Real Talk Tuesday coming up about tips for first-time home buyers. So if you're at all curious about getting out of your renting situation and seeing what it would take for you to start looking toward owning a home, then feel free to reach out, and I'd love to talk to you. Even if I don't end up officially working with you, I'm here to help. So reach out if you need anything. All right, so sellers, what do we need to know as sellers? All of those trends we just talked about in that list apply to you too, right? For the past couple of years, there's been really low inventory, partly because people were hesitant to sell, right? We were all locked into these amazing interest rates, and we didn't want to give those up for obvious reasons. And now as the rates that have been really high start to get lower, we're getting more listings, more people willing to sell their houses. So the great news is this means that buyers are also coming back to the market. So overall, it's healthier for both buyers and sellers at this time. The increase in active listings means that there is more competition, right? So competition is a little higher for selling your home. But this isn't something you necessarily need to worry about as long as you have a good pricing and marketing strategy for your home. Your property won't have a problem selling. And in one of these future Real Talks, I'll be going over what it takes to make sure you get as much possible money for you selling your house. So if you're thinking about selling anytime in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever, or if you're just curious about how much you think your home would be worth in this market, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to meet with you. And again, even if we don't end up working together, I'm really just happy to give your house a free price assessment for you. Look, that's all for now. As always, if you have any questions or if you just want to chat about the real estate market or anything, right? If you just want to reach out, you can talk to me anytime, and I will see you on next Tuesday. Have a great week.